Hello, hello, hello. This is Ms.Ravioli. And what do? I advocate for victims of domestic violence, victims of child sexual abuse, regardless of their current age, and victims of toxic relationships, whether those relationships are intimate or non intimate. Right now, I'm listening to Unwind with Tasha K as Miss Tasha K is interviewing Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith. Miss Lewis Smith has alleged that Mr. Deshaun Watson has engaged in some inappropriate behaviors. Miss Lewis Smith is a massage therapist. This happened, according to her, last year. According to Miss Lewis Smith, it happened last year. I want to say she said June or July of 2020. Miss Lewis Smith has claimed that Mr. Deshaun Watson hit her up in the DMs because Miss Tasha K asked, "How did you meet?" Apparently, he slid into her DMs. Did I say that correctly? So apparently people have been saying, "Oh no, like that's just an attack. It's an attack on professional African American athletes." You know, she lied. I don't know. I wasn't there, and I'm not certain, but I highly doubt that any of the people saying that she's lying were present at the time or times she's alleging that Mr. Deshaun Watson acted inappropriately. What is the problem with saying, "I don't know"? I don't know. Let me listen some. I'll be right back. So apparently, once upon receiving the DM, because of the number of followers that Mr. Watson had, Miss Lewis Smith asked a friend of hers, "Who is this with all of these followers?" And then she went on to say that her friend was super excited. She needed to take it seriously. Because Miss Lewis Smith didn't understand, why is this person contacting me for a massage? And she replied, hold on. Okay, so we're at 10 minutes and 25 seconds in on Unwind with Tasha K. Listen along if you like. Okay, so I hear Miss Lewis Smith stating that she received the DM. What is a derecho threat? And where? Hold on. Because that would be breaking news, because I see it on derecho threat in Wisconsin and Minnesota. Derecho is straight ahead. Direct? Is that a direct threat? I don't know. Okay. I don't know. At any rate, at 10 minutes and 25 seconds in, um, Miss Lewis Smith is explaining that um, she received this DM around 3 a.m., replied, wasn't expecting a reply back. This is my interpretation of what she said. And she did get a reply back. It went something like, "I want a massage. When would you like to come in? Do you have a time that you'd like to come in?" Um, Noon, okay, let's set it up. It's set up. On a day that they don't open, but when the owner of the salon found out who the client was, although the owner was under the weather, because it was what may be considered to be a high profile client, the doors were opened on Sunday morning. And right here we have special treatment. Make no mistake about it. You're not special to anyone that is highly toxic. They are special and you believe they're special. They believe they're special. I'm not saying you're not special. I'm saying you're not special to someone that is highly toxic. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. Isn't it funny how every time I get ready to say make no mistake, I make a mistake? But I corrected it. In this universe, I could do that. According to Miss Lewis Smith, the two of them met up around 3 on June I'm going to say on or about because I don't know, I wasn't there. On or about June 7th, 2020. The DMs had moved from direct messages on Instagram to text messages. Mr. Watson, according to Miss Lewis, provided Miss Lewis with his direct telephone number. Make no mistake about it, that does not mean you're special. Because a highly toxic person has provided you with something that you may deem sacred, they don't. They're special. You're not in their eyes. Do you understand what I'm saying? All of the little things that lead up to why did they do that? This would be in a relationship, something like love bombing. Oh, like they're untouchable. They're way over there. I could never get them. Make no never mind what socioeconomic status this highly toxic individual has, because the fast food worker may think that the drug dealer is untouchable, or the fast food worker may think that the corporate individual is special and untouchable. The college graduate may think that the person with 3 degrees is untouchable. It's all relative. It's all relative. We are at the 11-minute mark. Unwind with Tasha K. The special edition. You know the rest. Now, what I just heard Miss Lewis Smith say is that Mr. Watson was very adamant that she focused on his glutes. What I interpret that is, if this is true, and I do not know that it is, but I do know that this is true for highly toxic people, they are very adamant about what they want. So adamant about something they want. Adamant about something they want. Whatever the thing is. Whatever the thing is. It could be your superior needs a report done. They're adamant about it. They were to do it. You might not even know they were to do it. They put it on you. They're adamant that it be done. That's a toxic situation because they were to do it, not you. It's not in your job description. That's why it is not in their job description. It's in the superior's job description. That's why. Make no mistake about that either. The person on the corner with the cup, just a shaking and a shaking and a shaking. Hi. I just wanted to know if you could spare. And if you don't have it, what do they get? Adamant. Oh, you ain't got it. They get adamant. Right or wrong? Right or wrong? At the 11-minute and 33-second mark, Miss Lewis Smith has just said, me being 21 at the time, okay. She said she didn't know anything about whatever. Let me say something. There is no age where someone cannot be bamboozled. There just isn't. It depends on the skill set of the highly toxic individual. Right? Okay, so, example. Most people know how to read pretty well by the age of, let's just say, 15. But we know that there are people that cannot read that are well above 15 years old. Correct? Correct. They still can't read. It has nothing to do with age. I don't even understand why people put things on other individuals because of an age. At this point in time, with all of the information that is available, every single individual skill set is only learned if it is taught. If no one has taught the skill set, the individual has not learned the skill set. By the age of 25, not everybody knows how to gamble, play the stock market, sell drugs, run a corporation. Just doesn't dare read, write, whatever skill it is. You only gain the skill set if it has been taught, period. So I don't think that because she was 21 that has so I don't think it has as much to do with it as many people believe. Because so many people that are 31, 41, 51, 61, 71, 81, 91, and maybe some 101s have had things happen to them just like she's had this happen to her at 21. And she's only a year older. So apparently Miss Lewis Smith, has claimed, from what I hear, that Mr. Watson wanted her to focus on his glutes. He was very adamant about her focusing on his glutes, she divulged her rate, and it was a go. Why did he want her to focus on the glutes? She don't know, according to her. Let's see if we find out, according to her. So I am at 12 minutes and 15 seconds. So Miss Tasha K has asked Miss Lewis Smith, were the inappropriate behaviors like occurring initially in the first encounter? And from what I can gather, according to what Miss Lewis Smith has said, it just got gradual. It escalated gradually over time. Remember what I said about time? It's like an accordion. You can stretch it out, and you can pull it in. You can stretch it out, and you can pull it in. So, the key here is to understand that it progresses, whether it progresses over a day, a week, a year, a decade, it progresses. That is key. Okay, so right around 12 minutes and 39 seconds, Ms. Lewis Smith is explaining, from what I can hear, that allegedly Mr. Watson requested that the massage be centered in, on, or around the anus. Now, clearly, from what I can see, Miss Lewis Smith had no clue as to what in meant. And then, according to her, she found out. In and us. In my and us. Okay. Moving on. Now, this is interesting. So, inside, and I hear Miss Tasha K say inside of cracks or holes. Like, so just one though, crack or hole. And what is the word that she just used? It was very important. Originally, according to Miss Lewis Smith, originally she believed that that it was the crack, that she was to enter the crack, not a hole. And so what her words are is that Mr. Lewis was not satisfied. Mr. Watson was not satisfied. Oh, I do not know what happened with Mr. Watson. I wasn't there. This is all according to Miss Lewis Smith. But boy, do I know that highly toxic people are extremely insatiable. That is a song by Prince. Listen to it. Well, the artist, formerly known as May you rest according to however the universe sees fit. Insatiable. That's a word. Don't forget that word. Look it up. Write it down. Copy it 10 times if you don't know the meaning, so you can get a clear understanding. There is no highly toxic individual that is not insatiable. In my opinion, of course. So what I will say, if someone says, don't be afraid to do this, and it's not like, I'm not even going to say what it's like, because guess what? I will say, create your own boundaries. Create your own boundaries. And if you would like to tear down those boundaries yourself, that is okay. But do not allow anyone to push you or to step on or trample upon your boundaries, period. So I hear Miss Lewis Smith saying, she heard Mr. Watson say, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. According to Miss Lewis Smith, what was typical of a massage is not what Mr. Watson requested. This is what she is alleging. And no neck, no back, but deeper than the crack. According to Miss Lewis. Now here at 13 minutes and 42 seconds, Miss Lewis Smith is explaining how she communicated this information to the salon owner. Like, you will never believe what I just experienced. What was it? In a nutshell, uncomfortability. Because not everyone would be uncomfortable in this situation. However, according to Miss Lewis Smith, she was uncomfortable in this situation. Therefore, her boundaries have been crossed. According to her. I was not there. I'm only going by what she says. However, I do know highly toxic people often put their victims in uncomfortable situations. So then the conversation between, according to Miss Lewis Smith, between her and the store owner is, well, do you think that this individual may be homosexual, or why would this person come all the way over here to this side of town for me? I'm just 21. Well, I don't know why. I wasn't there. I know neither of you. However, I do know about toxic relationships. And in a toxic relationship, a highly toxic individual will make their victims feel special. It just happens. Because that's all they know. That's how they prep their prey. They make them feel special. Oh, isn't that special? Can I say that? That was Saturday Night Live. All credit goes to Saturday Night Live. I don't know if I can say that. Don't. I just saw a video talking about Viacom CBS and said you to use their stuff. And they said I can't watch that video no more. Whoever that was. Who was that? J Doug on point. all of that credit for what I had just said, that little phrase, goes directly to Saturday Night Live. Yes, it does. And also fair use, right? Because this is educational, and no one at Saturday Night Live, at least not publicly, hopefully privately as well, will create any type of environment, short distance or long distance, that encourages inappropriate behavior as it pertains to sexual acts. Thank you. Okay, we're at 14 minutes and 50 seconds and we're getting around to the second appointment. A second appointment? Yes, a second appointment. Why did she do a second appointment if the first appointment was like that? Well, we don't know any of this to be true because none of us were there. However, what I do know is a lot of people don't like their jobs and they go back. A lot of people don't like the situations in their household, but they open the door and stay there until they can leave again. A lot of people don't like the people at the grocery store where they shop, but they shop there. A lot of people don't like the people at the gas station, and so on and so forth. A lot of people don't like going to family gatherings, but they go. It's all about what you're willing to tolerate and what you are not willing to tolerate. Everyone tolerates some level of toxicity. My goal is to prevent people, or at least, I don't even want to say prevent people, educate people on how to refrain from remaining in highly toxic relationships. Also, to any individual that has been inappropriately touched at any point in time in their lives, but still has contact, minimal or greater, with that abusive individual, this right here is no different. The actions are different, but the not being able to leave, whatever, make no never mind what the actual reason is the individual was telling themselves. You were telling yourselves, he is telling himself, she is telling herself, they are telling themselves. It's the same at its core. There is a reason that a complete severing of the relationship is not occurring. Now here, by 15 minutes and 27 seconds, Miss Lewis Smith is claiming that Mr. Deshaun Watson allegedly began touching her inappropriately. She goes into detail about how. I suggest you watch this. What is this? It is Unwind with Tasha K, the special edition. Deshaun White inside of the, I can't see it all right here, but massage room with, I'm going to say Nia Reese Lewis Smith. I don't know if Tasha put her whole name in there, but that is her entire name. So this is how it is escalating. And this is just appointment number 2. And Miss Lewis is claiming that now, because she feels so uncomfortable, she is massaging at a distance, trying to keep her distance. Watch it. Okay, so what I hear Miss Lewis Smith claim is that allegedly Mr. Watson wanted her to give the massage in a specific way, which is basically from what I have experienced with highly toxic individuals is they want what they want. And that goes back to them being adamant, like, no, I don't want this, I don't want that. And I can almost hear some people saying, ain't nothing wrong with wanting what you want, ain't nothing wrong with wanting what you want. Well, there is something wrong with wanting what you want from someone that doesn't wish to provide that want to you. Period. Why is she still there? I could hear some of you saying that. Why is she still there? Okay, well, I hear her saying she's uncomfortable and just trying to get through the hour-long massage. How many people just trying to get through the day at work? I'm just trying to get through this shift. I'm just trying to get through this board meeting. I am just trying to get my children from this school. I don't want to see no more of these parents and these teachers. They're getting on my nerves. I'm just trying to make it to my car after Sunday morning service. Can I just make it to the car, Lord Jesus? Can I just make it to the car? But you still go to church, you still go to work, you still go pick up your kids, you still go to the board meetings. Don't you? The main focus, according to Miss Lewis Smith, the main focus in her, from her vantage point, from the vantage point of Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith, the owner of the salon's main focus was to retain and maintain this client. Save my brand. Never mind that my employee is extremely uncomfortable. This is what I hear Miss Lewis Smith saying. How do you feel about that, people? What do you feel about that? Do you feel that should be the salon owner's main focus? It is a business. We're here to do business. Nothing personal. Showbiz is just showbiz. That's the Dream Girls. All credit goes to Dream Girls. Dream Girls. I want to sing some more of that, but I won't. I'll just pause it and do it. Acting like they stupid. Acting like they're unaware. No, they're aware. They just don't care. Do you know who I got that little phrase from? I don't remember his name. But he did write A Wolf in Sheep's Clothing. It's not that they are not aware. It is that they do not care. Now, all kinds of things are going on right now in this second session, according to Miss Nia Reese Lewis. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. However, I do know that highly toxic individuals don't care. Oh, but are they aware? We're at 15 minutes, 4 seconds. I only want 2 parts of my body massage. Is that what I heard her say? That she heard him say? This is all allegedly. Because I wasn't there. If you want the details, go to Unwind with Tasha K. I'm just saying. This type of behavior is typical for highly toxic individuals. Also, this type of behavior is typical for victims. The highly toxic individual is pushing the boundaries, eroding the boundaries. The victim is doing what I would call mental gymnastics, which is ultimately enabling the highly toxic individual. All the while, the highly toxic individual knows exactly what they're doing. And every time the highly toxic individual is allowed to erode the boundaries, they won't stop. Why? I just told you, they're insatiable. Do you want to put in your mouth? Where were they born? I'm just erect and all over the abs. When it seems like right now we are at 17 minutes and 26 seconds, when it seems like an hour is taking so long, I'm wondering if it is taking so long. Because time flies when you're having fun. But when you're not having fun, time doesn't fly. Remember, what is time like? An accordion. An accordion. You can expand it. You can pull it in. An hour seemed like it was taking so long. When am I going to get out of this situation? When am I going to get out of here? My boss is making me feel uncomfortable. When am I going to get out of here? I feel like I can't breathe. When am I going to get out of here? When am I going to get off of this stage? I'm frightened. I'm terrified. I'm uncomfortable. So, unless you have never been uncomfortable, please don't ask why did the person stay or go or whatever it is you want to know. The answer is always because they were uncomfortable and couldn't make the correct decision at the time. Period. Now, I heard at 17 minutes and 36 seconds, I heard Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith say that she cut the session short about 15 minutes. This is right after she's saying, like, why is this taking so long? Cutting it short, 15 minutes, and then you'll see. Just watch it. Watch the expressions, watch the emotions. It's amazing how the brain can just flash back to a moment or a wrinkle in time. I also would label this as trauma. This was traumatic. It appears to be traumatic. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. Something could have happened. Something could not have happened. Boy, have I heard that before. I don't know. I wasn't there. However, it appears to me as though Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith is traumatized to some degree. Now, pretending as if an hour was 45 minutes, or that 45 minutes was an hour by cutting it short 15 minutes. Has anybody ever done that? Just like, oh, I'm gonna, somehow in your mind, you make the uncomfortable situation okay. But when you go back and really examine it, it's really just a coping mechanism. And it's also creating an alternate reality, because 45 minutes is not an hour. 45 minutes is 45 minutes. 60 minutes, that's an hour. But 45 minutes is not. But it could start like that, the crazy making, like 45 minutes is going to be an hour. I'm going to say it's going to be an hour. Because you hear yourself say, nope, this is an hour. We're all done here. Baby steps. This is the beginning of crazy making. I would have to say a firm no, ma'am. 18 minutes and 2 seconds. I hear Miss Tasha K ask, like, did you ever let the individual know that you felt uncomfortable? And I hear Miss Lewis Smith say no, verbally, no. But allegedly, she is claiming that allegedly Mr. Watson knew for a fact because of how she was, kind of, I guess, like, for lack of better terms, batting him off with her hands. No, ma'am. You know how they say don't show your teeth to, like, a wild animal? I believe definitely like a bear. You could be smiling. That's not how they interpret it. A dog, I don't think that's how they interpret it. Lion, a tiger, bear. Oh my. This is not a smile to them. Think of it as like if you were batting off any wild animal or any mentally unstable individual that did not understand that you were batting them off. It could come across a number of ways. In this particular way, it could just be foreplay to a highly toxic and perhaps mentally unstable individual. Does that make sense? I like to say that things that seem logical do not and cannot apply in a completely illogical situation. You know who says, what? What? People that don't know no better. Like kids. Like underdeveloped. individuals. What? When they say what? And you believe, you know what? Think to yourself, that individual is underdeveloped in that area. Whatever that area is that they're underdeveloped in that moment, they're underdeveloped. That doesn't mean that they can't be well developed in something else. Like they could be well developed in manipulation. They could be well developed in a sport. They could be well developed in the stock market. But as it pertains to whatever that is right there before you, and they're like, what? If they're underdeveloped, they're underdeveloped. I don't care what age they are. You do not care. Should not care. I can't say should. You are not to expect that the age matters. They can still be underdeveloped in some areas, or many areas, or all areas of their lives. Okay. 18 minutes, 27 seconds. We both knew is what I hear Miss Lewis Smith saying. We both knew. No, never do that. If you don't ask the person and they don't answer, no, you don't know what they know. You cannot think for anyone else, in my opinion. Just because I may think something is wrong doesn't mean that someone else believes that it's wrong. Does that make sense? Because if the person that is assaulting an individual is still assaulting the individual, it's not as wrong to them as it is to the victim. It doesn't mean that they don't think it's wrong. They might think it's just a little bit wrong, but not like this much wrong. You know what I'm saying? It might be right here, this much, but not this much wrong. I believe it is dangerous to place my beliefs upon another individual. I believe I must ask that individual and allow them to hang themselves. 19 minutes, 8 seconds. Session number 3. She went back to that salon and met him up there again. Yes. Oh no. Are you telling me that she went back up there again and met with him on the 3rd occasion? Yes. Man, she had went back up there one more again. Yes. Now let me get this straight. Mrs. Lewis Smith, now you are telling me you were uncomfortable on the first time around, and you're telling me you were uncomfortable the second time around, and then you're telling me now you went back for a 3rd time? Yes. Okay, we are at 20 minutes and 23 seconds. This is Tasha K. Tasha K's Unwind with Tasha K is the YouTube channel, and this is a special edition, Deshaun Watson, and it's inside the massage room with, I can't see the whole title, with Nia Reese Lewis Smith. Okay, this is the 3rd time, and it's escalating. This is kind of graphic. I suggest you go to Tasha K's platform and watch the video and pay attention to the different emotions that you see Miss Lewis Smith express. And at this point, according to Miss Lewis Smith, the highly toxic individual is becoming agitated. Agitated. From agitation. Do you know what that's from? If you do, put that in the comments. Sometimes you just need a little bit of agitation. Now, Miss Lewis Smith is alleging that she was acting like she did not understand the instructions. Now, see, from what I have experienced, it's not good to act like you don't know something, especially if there are other people looking on. I'm not saying that it was wrong for you to do that. No, what I'm trying to get people to understand is how they can act in a manner that will hopefully produce different outcomes later. Because acting stupid may lead your aggressor to believing that you're stupid, which may excite them even more. A lot of times, no works. Because I believe that ultimately, at the core, they're just a child. So, no. Just no. No. Like that machine. The machine that Afion Crockett has. No. No. No, 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 no. Right? That one. I am curious about what's in the bag. What's in the bag? What is in the thing that a highly toxic person always has with them? I'm going to say their most prized possession or possessions. If there is a bag or a briefcase or a box, I don't know. Whatever it is that they always have with them, I believe there's more in store. There's something else in it. I believe there's something else in there. What's in the bag? What else was in the bag? I hear, according to Miss Lewis Smith, because I wasn't there, I don't know. I'm just going by what she's saying. I'm not saying whether I believe her or not. What I am saying is that the story sounds familiar. And what I am asking is, what's in the bag? What's in the bag that goes everywhere with this person? What all is in the bag? Not some of the items, but all of the items. What's in the bag? "21 minutes and 17 seconds, Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith has decided this is the last time that I will be massaging this client. Although my decision is going against everyone else's wishes." I applaud you. I applaud you. If what you're saying is true, Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith, I applaud you. You know, the average is 7 to 8 times. It only took you 3. Okay, so around 22 minutes and 25 seconds, I hear Miss Lewis Smith explaining that there was special treatment given, but the special treatment was not paid for. That's because they're special and you're not. So what? It takes more time for you to do all of the things that they're requesting. They expect you to do that because they are special. You're not special. You might not even be real to them. You might not even be human to them. You might just be a tool. So, yes, do 20 things for me is what the highly toxic individual would be thinking, even though I'm compensating you for 3 things. Do 20 though. Okay? 23 minutes, 16 seconds. I believe that feeling disgusted after the fact is common and normal and not talked about often enough on a large platform. 24 minutes and 3 seconds. I wonder if this is how a victim of incest feels. Please watch this video. It's on YouTube. The platform is on Wine with Tasha K. At the beginning of the video, I think she says that it's on some other platforms like Facebook and something else, I believe she says, but I know it is on YouTube. It is on Wine with Tasha K today. It was yesterday, July, what? 27th, 2021. I believe is when it was recorded. This young lady, Nia Reese Lewis Smith, is expressing how no one cared. She felt as though no one cared because of the actions and the behaviors of those people that she expected to care about her being uncomfortable in a situation. Someone outside of the situation being infatuated with anything, a client, a income stream, a an entry into a particular circle. Think about when someone tells you they're uncomfortable and how easy it is for someone else not directly in the situation to say, "Oh, but just do it for this or just do it for that." Or if you can think of a child that is thinking about, well, I don't want this person to get mad. I don't want this person to get sad. This person doesn't work. I don't want them to be without. So I'll just be resilient. I don't believe children are that resilient, no matter how many times it's said. Again, Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith quit her job because no one, in her opinion, gave a flippity flop flam about her and her uncomfortability and all that surrounded it, as long as what she's saying is true. Because I wasn't there. And this is all alleged. Unless we find out it's not. But right now, it's alleged. I wasn't there. Who's the attorney that said don't speak out? And why? What was the reason? Like, what was the precise reason? Was it to... I don't know. I don't want to speculate. Just what was the precise reason and who was that attorney? And have they had cases like this? Have they handled cases like this before? Is there a conflict of interest? Is there a conflict of interest now that Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith has spoken out? Counselor, are you there? Show yourself, please. Inquiring minds want to know. Wait a minute. Why? Okay. Allegedly, Mr. Watson's attorney contacted Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith. I'm wondering why. Why is that? Is that ethical? Is that moral? Had Miss Lewis Smith not retained counsel? Did Miss Lewis Smith speak to that attorney? Counselor number 2. Were you oblivious to the fact that Miss Lewis Smith had retained counsel, or had Miss Lewis Smith retained counsel at that time? Did you ask if Miss Lewis Smith was being represented by an attorney? I don't know. I don't know exactly what y'all do. I'm just asking. One of his lawyers. It's a team. Opposing counsel only wants to hear your side so they can tear apart, shred, and burn every piece of information you have to offer. Put that on repeat. 28 minutes, 38 seconds. What I just said was absolutely correct according to Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith. Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith just stated, counselor, blah, 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 only wanted to get information out of her because that counselor has a job to do. Their job is to win for their client. That's all. That's it. It's just to win. If you have questions as to why, I guess you could put those in the comments and I can reply to them. But that's just what they do. 29 minutes, 42 seconds. Death threats. Oh, okay. So, highly toxic individuals, when backed into a corner, it's like imagine backing a tiger with rabies into a corner. Yeah. hmm Get out of that apartment. Somebody trying to do what? And your mama has said it. I can believe that. I can believe that somebody has said something. Mm-hmm. Because they're highly toxic. If this is true, of course. I have to wonder if individuals are recognizing this person in Houston. Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith, are you in public? Are you able to capture these individuals on um, recording, some type of recording device? Are they hindering? Are they potentially hindering an ongoing investigation by causing you some sort of trauma? Why would anyone do that? Why would anyone do that before all of the facts are in or before they have reviewed anything that is currently out? Now ask yourself if that is how strongly someone that doesn't personally know someone that's allegedly highly toxic, if that's how strongly they ride for them, how strongly do you think a family member would ride for another family member that's doing something inappropriately? Or what about how strongly someone would ride for a pastor that's doing something inappropriately? Or an educator? Or a boss? Or a plug? I highly doubt the people that are recognizing Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith have a personal relationship with Mr. Deshaun Watson yet they are adamant about their thoughts and feelings that surround these allegations. How is that? Hey, this person plays on our favorite team. Can you just chill on them? Would that be equivalent to, hey, this person pays all the bills in the household? I can't see what's going on. I hear nothing. Like, for real? This person works for me. They bring in a ton of money to this company. They did what? Say it ain't so. I'ma say it ain't so. Okay, so I have a question for Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith. Not that it has to be answered, but I will just put it out there in the universe. So, not moving forward in a legal sense, do you believe that that will allow for um, anyone that behaves in a manner in which you describe? Do you believe that that will prevent them from doing similar things in the future, or kind of amp it up? Your thoughts, ma'am? Not that you have to tell me anything. Of course, I would love to hear the answer, but it's just something I would not feel comfortable if I did not put the question out there. And that goes for anyone that has been abused. When I hear individuals say, well, it's too late, it happened so long ago, what do I often wonder, what do they believe that individual is doing now? And how many more victims have there been since their situation? And do they feel like they could have put a halt to inappropriate actions and behaviors that a highly toxic individual may have after their particular incident? Well, okay, so if a victim, this is just my opinion, if a victim is more concerned about their name being bashed than the truth prevailing, or their truth being delivered in the appropriate legal fashion, I would seek some type of counseling, and I may have to build up my self-esteem, and during that process there may come a point in time where I will no longer feel those feelings, and they will change into something else that will empower me to move forward with my head held high. Because I believe my job as a victim of anything is to increase awareness and to be free from any shame that is directly the result of someone else's feelings, especially if they're not directly involved in the situation. They don't even have knowledge of the situation. Not fully. They weren't there. I can say that while I originally felt ashamed of reactions that I received from individuals that I expected to act in a particular manner, I now feel ashamed of myself for not thoroughly knowing who those individuals were at their core. Because hindsight is 2020, those individuals were never going to have my best interest at heart. They don't have the capacity to have my best interest at heart for whatever the reason. Maybe what it is that I am experiencing, maybe they're experiencing it, and they can't see why I'm not acting in the manner in which they are acting. Maybe it happened to them a long time ago, and they feel like they've dealt with it and have been successful with the situation, although they may not have been successful in the situation. Just they still believe that they have been, so they act how they act. That's not my thing to deal with. If I know what I know, and I know that I know it, then I will be moving forward. Now, what if the same thing happened to an offspring? I would encourage, I'm not, if I were, I'm not going to encourage anybody to do anything. Knowing what I know now, I would reach out to Jessica Reed. Is that her name? If I were Miss Nia Reese Lewis Smith, I would reach out to Jessica Reed, Jessica Reed's mother, and Jessica Reed's brother, and ask what is on the other side of not moving forward at the appropriate time. Oh my God, if this is true, now she's being isolated. This is textbook isolation. We are at 36 minutes and 56 seconds. This is textbook isolation. Ostracized from the community. Oh, you trying to take away our star, and you ain't gonna help me build my business. Is that a form of what is it? Creating or allowing or accepting, participating in an environment of acceptance, something like that. You're not going back to doing what you are trained to do? What? Isn't that like potential loss of wages? Nia Reese Lewis Smith, you don't watch the Star Report? I may have to reach out to her. Potential loss of wages. You can't even do your job anymore. Girl. You can't get no teddy bear camera? Is that illegal? They can't sign a consent to be recorded until the end of the session, and then maybe the recording be deleted after however many. I don't know. There's nothing. There's no teddy bear cameras. No, nothing. Where's she at? Texas? Houston? What are the laws there for that? It's nothing. It's got to be something. It's got to be something. It's got to be. What about audio? I don't know. There are options. I am at the 38-minute and 52-second mark. I am listening here. I am speaking to you all here. Here. So, there are options. One is choosing to focus on individuals that are unhappy with the decisions that you make. Another option is choosing to focus on individuals that are happy with the decisions that you make. Another option is choosing to focus on yourself and making yourself happiest, healthiest, safest, most educated. There are support groups. I'm almost certain that there are support groups in Houston, Texas for victims of probably everything under the sun. If not, who am I? I'm Ms.Ravioli. A toxic situation is a toxic situation is a toxic situation is a toxic situation. Okay, so now we are at 39 minutes and 50 seconds. And what I will add to what Tasha K is saying, if she doesn't say it after I insert my 2 cents in, well, actually, it's probably $1 million worth of advice, but who's counting? So, yes, all of those things that I just talked about, educating yourself on that. Also, I would want to be as well versed around these types of situations as possible so that this situation doesn't happen to me again, and so that this situation never happens to my children, right? How do you take this situation and grow stronger and more resilient from all of the negatives that were introduced and flip them into positives. Because what I would say is, instead of, well, I don't want to take this time away from my life today because I have a child, I would change that statement. I would, and say, well, because I have a child, I'm going to take the time to learn more about the situation so that I can educate myself about how predators act in multiple environments, so that my child, so that neither I nor my child become victims to any predator that is out there. Does that make sense? I would also say I would take the time to be uncomfortable now with what has already happened, as opposed to becoming more uncomfortable at a later date because I didn't get uncomfortable today. Again, I would reach out to Jessica Reed. I would. Jessica Reed's mother, Jessica Reed's brother, and possibly even someone on the Bandusky case that has come forward, allegedly. Again, I believe there are support groups out there. I just talked about this. Why would he want that? He could have anybody he want. Apparently he came when he said what? I don't know what he said. I wasn't there. But she said that he had said, allegedly, what did she say? Something that wasn't even a complete sentence. When are individuals going to learn that just because someone has money does not mean that they are somebody that everybody wants? They're just not. So no, they can't. And I think they can't have anybody that they want. And I think that that is something that people should stop reiterating in this world, because it's not true. To everyone listening right now, just because you have a certain amount of money does not mean you can get any and everything you want or any and every body that you want. It's just not true. It's not true. Can you get a lot of people? Maybe. Are they high quality people? Meh. Is that what you thought you could get because you believed this fallacy, this falsehood of, if I just get the money, I can have whatever I want. If I just get the car, I can have whatever I want. Who's telling people these things? That's not true. So when situations like this come about, the only thing the only thing that matters is that at that point in time, or those particular points in time, whoever a victim is that a highly toxic person wants is them, is the victim at that time. It doesn't matter why you think they do, or why you think they shouldn't, or why you think they don't, or why you, whatever they do at that time. There's a reason in their illogical processing inabilities, there's a reason. Will it make sense? Probably not. Why? Because making sense is not a part of an unhealthy individual's mental capacity. The answer to the question of why wouldn't the highly toxic individual go get what they want from somebody that's willing to give them what they want? The answer to that question is that ain't what they want. They want what they want. And they don't think like you think. Stop thinking that they think logically. They don't. They don't. They don't think logically. They just don't. Stop believing it. If they did, right, this is not what they would be doing. They would not be abusive if they were logical. And you're not special. You're not special. Nobody is special to a highly toxic individual. Back to the STAR report. They are the ultimate toxic person. The ultimate. It's all about them. It's all about them. It has nothing to do with you. Yes, you may feel like it, and they may make you feel like you're special only because of what you'll do, because they made you believe that you were special. But it all has to do with if they believe they're special, they'll do this for me. But it has, if you wouldn't do something for them, they ain't gonna make you feel special at all. You can't make nothing clear to somebody that don't think straight, because they don't think straight. I know it seems like that's what was going on. Trust me, I know. Do you know who I used to be married to? I am Ms.Ravioli. I used to be married to Lucifer, Beelzebub, El Diablo. You think you doing this, and this. And they say, we're doing this, and this. Have you ever been in a situation like that? Only to find out the only person that meant what they were saying was you. You know why? Because they don't care. None of that stuff means anything. Don't think that. Well, I explained the rules and the regulations. You know how in like a game there's somebody that just doesn't follow the rules. They just don't. And you believe, or whoever that showed them the rules or laid the rules out, they're like, okay, this is what it is. It's like this, it's like that. And this is that, and this is that. And if you do this, then this is going to happen. If you do that, then that's going to happen. And they just do whatever. Whatever. That's because they're not thinking straight. They don't think like you. So stop believing that they think like you. They don't. And if someone is highly toxic and what? Insatiable, when will they stop with the toxicity? How do you satiate someone that's insatiable? You don't. It's impossible. Okay, if this is true, and I don't know that it is, I wasn't there. This is all alleged. So, this is all alleged. So, if the highly toxic individual is saying, I can't wait until I prove that this wasn't true, that's because somewhere in their illogical thought process, it isn't true. They're probably delusional. They don't think like you. They just don't. Listen to what they're saying. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. If they're saying, I ain't do it, and you know, and you saw that they did it, they probably may not believe that they actually did it. Now, while they were doing it, they probably did know they were doing it. Now, that might have been at 3:01, but when you made it known to them at 3:04 that you saw them do it, they have erased 3:01 to 3:04 and 22 seconds. All of that is erased. They have rewritten those minutes and seconds in their brain with new information, and now they ain't do it. They ain't do it. You see me? Right? You know what it's like? That wasn't me cheating. That wasn't me. I ain't take your lunch out the refrigerator. Just sitting in the break room eating your lunch. But they ain't do it. They really didn't at 3:04. But at 3:01, yeah, they took it out. They know they took it out. But at 3:04, they have erased 3:01 and all the other minutes up until 3:04 when you ask them, is all that information is gone. They have rewritten that information. Do you see what I'm saying? That's being delusional. Now it may pop back up because it is the brain and it's in there somewhere. And maybe tomorrow or later on that day, they might be, ha ha, ate your lunch. And you'll be like, did you say you didn't eat my lunch? And then they'll be like, I didn't eat your lunch. What are you talking about? What was that she said? What? What? That's what delusional is. I don't even know if there's a such thing anymore as just liars. I think people were just delusional. Like, what is it called? Compulsive liar? I think those people are just delusional. Do not place logic and reasoning on someone that is illogical and irrational. If you would have just gotten the truth from the liar, that's what I hear. If I had just gotten the truth from the liar and the touchy-feely person and the manipulator and the I am above any and everybody else around here, including you, if I had just gotten the truth from that person, then I would be okay. How do you get the truth from that individual? The liar? They never mess up. They never mess up. Have you ever been in a situation where someone says, I apologize, and then the very thing that they apologize for, they either say they didn't do it like shortly after they apologize, or they repeat the exact same action they're apologizing for. Ma'am, Gentlemen, everyone out there, they never mess up. They never mess up in their minds. They never mess up. Okay, we are at 44 minutes and 43 seconds. I'm done. I believe this is when Tasha K is going to open up the wine cellar, so to speak, and allow people to voice their opinions. I encourage you to watch Unwind with Tasha K. It is, hold on, let me get the entire title. Special edition, Deshaun Watson, Inside the Massage Room with Nia Lewis. I am no better than you, and you are no better than me. Who am I? I'm Ms.Ravioli. Toodles.